Hi, this is Darman. Welcome to a special edition 20,000 subscriber video. I'm very excited to be here in a new building I've constructed just for this occasion, which you've seen in previous videos off to the side. And this is what I call the 20,000 subscriber theater. And here we are. Let's go inside, and ta-da! There we are. It's 20,000K, which is 20K, which is of course 20,000. And I'm gonna stand right here and try and look important behind this podium. Here we go. And right over here to my right, you'll see two dogs, and those are the two dogs that have been named by someone, which I'll name later, and I'll reveal the names towards the end of this show. And we'll also be revealing some other things about myself, about how I go about making Stampy videos, and all kinds of stuff we're going to learn today. I'm going to go over the Stampy seed, my seed, and all that sort of stuff once more. So let's get to it. We're going to start with a short Q&A session, and beginning with a question from Logan Killers. Logan Killers wants to know, how old am I? and the answer to that question is well, okay, I'm old, guys. I'm old enough to be your dad. I'm probably old enough to be your dad's older brother, if you're the average age watching this video. But to be honest with you, I am 46 years of age. Yes, you've heard it, 4 and 6. Some of you watching this video are probably one of those numbers, but not both of them together. So I am 46 years old. That puts me in the severely old category of YouTubers, but that's okay. I like being in here, and I think I have a young at heart, which is, I think, the most important thing, and being completely immature as well. So next, Jack Locke, who's also in my Love Garden, asks, how long have I been a YouTuber? Well, not very long, actually. I uploaded my first video back in July of 2014, and it was just a tour of my Stampy World that I had built, and I was just sharing it with some people that were on Facebook, and then from that point, I didn't really do anything until about the end of August, when I decided to do some instructional videos on some of the things that Stampy didn't show us how to build, like the time machine and the what else is the cakey baking machine and so forth. And those were my first videos, and the SS Stumpy. So those were my very first videos, and it kind of went from there. That was at the end of August of 2014. Next up, Barnsey12 asked, how did you get inspired to make Stampy's Lovely World? Well, I'll tell you exactly. I have mentioned this in the past briefly, but not everybody may have seen this video. But essentially, my daughter, Tori, who's now 9, and at the time she was probably 7 or maybe even closer to 6, probably 7. And she was watching Stampy's videos and, of course, loves Stampy. And she decided that she wanted to go to Stampy's Lovely World one day. So she got on the Xbox and typed in the new world and named it Stampy's Lovely World, and assumed that at that point she would be in Stampy's Lovely World. And to her great disappointment, that was not the case at all, as you can imagine. So I felt kind of bad for her, so I decided to start trying to build some of Stampy's bedroom. So then she got wind of what I was doing, and she was trying to help, and she was telling me how to do things more than I was doing it right. So I decided then that I would try to build the whole thing for her as much as I could, and we've been having fun with it ever since. And then once I uploaded my first video, other people started noticing and wanted to know how I do it, and here we are. Another question from Logan's Killer, excuse me, is, how the heck do you know how to build Stampy's World? Well, that sort of leads into what we're going to get into later. I'm going to show you some of my drawings, but long story short, I just watch his videos. I pause the videos repeatedly over and over and over and over and over and over. It's ridiculous how many times I hit the space bar to pause the videos and touch the screen to sort of count tiles, and I've gotten pretty good at counting tiles, which are hard to count from far away and so forth, and I make a lot of guesses, and I'm not saying I know how to do this perfectly, but you know, that's just it. I just watch the videos. There's no other way really to do it. Next question comes from the Gaming Bunny, and the Gaming Bunny asks, how many Stampy's Worlds have you made, including this one? Well, that is a really, really good question. I made one, my original Stampy World called My Stampy World, which I showed on the videos, my first video. and it's not complete because I kind of had to give up updating it in order to create these videos for you guys. So that one sort of stalled right around the whale game, whatever that one was called, and I like how my dogs are just sort of nodding. Yes. Yes. So I've created, since then I've created a small one on Pocket Edition. I just wanted to have the house mostly, really just for doing these videos. I thought it was used as a reference material for that, and it was useful. And the other thing I've done is I have made it, the builder world that you've seen, that we're in right now, and now recently the Stampy's seed, which I downloaded and am creating everything in, which you've seen on the last video. It's coming along nicely. So the Gaming Bunny also asked, how long did it take you to find out how to build everything? I'm guessing 2 years is what Gaming Bunny said, and then that's pretty close. That's probably a pretty fair estimate about how long it took me to build everything that I had already built in my Stampy world. Probably 1.5 to 2 years. Although you have to also consider it, somewhere in that time frame, my Xbox broke. My original Xbox had Red Ring of Death, and then I went a few months without having an Xbox at all, which, you know how horrible that would be. So I got a new Xbox eventually, and there we go. And then everything was good to go, and thankfully everything was still saved on my hard drive. I could get it off of that, and got her back onto my new Xbox, so everything was good there. So yeah, but anyway, it took me a good 1.5 years, I would say, to get as far as I did. And I keep pausing. There's like this little black ring that goes around my head when I'm just like this. I don't know, it makes it look like I have hair instead of being bald. which I'm very close to being in real life anyway. There will be no face reveal on this video. People have asked for it. I don't believe that's going to help sell the video whatsoever. So that ends our first Q&A session. We're going to have some more. But next, I'm going to show you my setup. So here we go. Okay, we're pulling back. Prepare to be underwhelmed, people, by this setup. And here's my old TV. And this isn't even like my new TV in my new bedroom, in my living room. We're here in my kid's toy room. Look, we've got ponies and Anna, and a bunch of toys and whatnot. This is where I'm relegated to the kids' room. So down below the TV, of course, way down here is the Xbox, which is really hard to see. I apologize in this lighting. But off to the right of that is my HD PVR2, which all the wires are going through for the recording. And then this little wire snakes way over to my HP laptop, which is a few years old, and but still does an absolutely awesome job for me, and records everything on the computer, and that's where I do my editing. And the really cool piece of equipment, which is brand new off to the right of the computer, is this cool microphone here. This is called a Bumblebee, and it's made by a company called Neat, because it is very neat. It actually articulates on its own little stand. You'll see if I can just reach in here. Oops, see, no face reveal, but here's my hand reveal. So there, it kind of spins around like that, and of course we've got my headphones and whatnot and so forth. But the microphone is definitely the coolest piece of equipment I own, and how sad is that? So there it is. That is my setup. And so if you feel bad about your setup, don't. Look at mine. So there we go. And let's go back to the theater. And that was my setup. It's pretty lame, right? I mean, if you've seen some really fancy ones, I'm sure on other people's videos, but that's it. That's all I got. It's like a laptop, a microphone, and an Xbox, and a TV. That's it. That's all it takes, folks. You don't have to get too fancy on this sort of stuff. So anyway, next to the next Q&A session, we've got a few more questions here. Bart Boom's Cheeseburger, who's also in my love garden, asked, what inspired you to make videos on how to make stampy things? Oh, well, I guess I sort of did touch on this already. Sorry, Bart, but yeah, mostly it was just my Facebook friends saying, hey, I'd like to know how you built, show me how you built all that stampy stuff. And I was like, that seemed like way too much to take on. So I just did my Stampy's bedroom video. I did the cakey baking machine and all that, the time machine and so forth, which it still get quite a few hits, which I'm happy to say. And so that was it. I just started you know, just showing people how I did what I did, and I wasn't really trying to be too formal about it. But then, as you know, the videos went on, I decided I really need to kind of nail this down and really kind of, you know, try to make a quality video for everybody who's watching. As it turned out, there was a bunch of people watching my videos. I did not expect that, really. So obviously, you know, we've got 20,000 subscribers, but there's, you know, I'm you know, averaging probably about 500,000 views per month. So either 20,000 of you are watching my videos like a million times each, or there's a bunch of non-subscribers that are watching, which actually is of course the case. So the next question comes from Joshua Crafting Mania, and Joshua asks, "Are you married? If so, would your wife be able to join us in a video, perhaps?" Yes, Joshua, I am married to a lovely woman who gave me my 2 children, and well, no, I don't think she's going to be joining us in a video. She's not a big fan of video games in general or Minecraft, but she does endorse me playing them. She knows how much I love them, and she would never ever stand in the way of that, which is part of the reason I love her so much. And so yeah, so that's it. That's about all I can say about that. So let's see. Omar Hamdi asks me, will you build Funland? Okay, well, I guess that's kind of a general question for the builds that are going on right now. And yes, of course, I'm going to be building Funland. I'm going to be building everything. I'm going to show you how to build everything. I'm not guaranteeing the Funland is going to be in the right place in your world. It depends on your world. Whatever one you started, you may not have room where you need to have this Funland, and that's okay. That's quite all right. You put it where you need it and make it work. That's the whole point of this series, is to simply try to make it work for you in your current world. Later on, I will be going over the seed that I use and some information about downloading Stampy's seed, at least on Xbox. And so, you know, you'll get more information there about that. But the Funland, yes, absolutely, everything's going to be built. As far as that's the plan anyway. That is the plan. The next question comes from James Sandry, also in my love garden, I understand. It says, he asks, what are we expecting from your channel after or during the Stampy World recreation series? Well, James, I would be very, very surprised if Stampy stopped building my Stampy, the Stampy's Lovely World. So I'm kind of figuring that that's pretty much going to go on for pretty much. He has to fill it up eventually, yes, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be going on that for quite some time. So it's really hard for me to say what would happen after I laid the last brick of something that Stampy built. I'm sure at that point something new would come along that Stampy will be doing that. I could help show you how to build. That's the hope. Next question, James Galloway asks me a very important question, which no one has ever asked me before, and that is, are you a sock enthusiast? And wholeheartedly, I can say absolutely not. I'm not even wearing socks right now. The socks I own are just boring and white or black or something like that, so I really can't say, even though I wear them every single day, I generally can't say that I am a sock enthusiast. Even my dogs don't have socks on either over there. The last question for this session of Q&A comes from Joey G, another person from my love garden, and Joey G asks, will you be allowing subscribers to help you build at some point? And the answer to that is right now. The answer is not likely, but it's very possible because I just don't know. You never know what I'm going to be doing, and I might have a surprise builder here and there come in. But mostly the comments that I get are that it sometimes can be confusing, and I think it'd be a matter of me being very, really kind of meeting up with the helper, like I'm sure Stampy does with Lee, about exactly what we're going to build, what I'm going to expect that person to do, and so forth. And so it's not written in stone. I think at some point we will. In fact, I'm thinking of doing a contest, inviting some people to do a build off, and maybe pick something in Stampy's world, and people to say, all right, 2 teams, you build it, you have this amount of time, we'll see how fast you do it, or if you complete it, or how accurate it is, and so forth and so on. So that's something that's kind of on the back burner that I'd really like to do. I'm sorry, there's one more question that I have right before we end this session of Q&A, and that is, can I friend you on Xbox Live? And people, I wish I had enough friend spaces to friend every single one of you on Xbox Live, but it is just not the case. The people on my friends list are people that I play with a lot, or that I'm trying to help, or whatever, so that's what I tried to keep my list as. And I keep a couple slots open just in case someone new needs help. So that's it for this Q&A session. Coming right up, I'm going to show you some drawings. These are going to be some of my actual paper drawings that I use to create the videos. So let's take a look. So it all starts out right here with this mechanical pencil and this pad of graph paper, which this is like the second or third one I've on. And all these drawings that I make end up in this big folder, and you can see it's just chock full of weird stuffed pieces of paper. There's all kinds of drawings of every kinds of bits of Stampy World in there. They're not in any kind of order, unfortunately. And here's some kind of up close, and there's a restaurant here, and this is part of the terrain around the house, I think. And it's hard to tell just from the outside drawing. Here's the theater, and oh look, there's what's his name's island, and this is a close-up, so you can see all the little numbers. Those are the numbers that I call out to you. And wow, there it is. Thanks, we're back. Hey, that just shows you how it doesn't have to be high tech to get the job done. I use graph paper and pencil. Hey, it gets the job done. I like it, although it's a bit noisy sometimes in the background. I kind of hear this, you hear this little, me messing with paper or something like that. Paper and pencil the old-fashioned way. So yeah, that's a look at how I do that. So let's finish up our Q&A session with these last questions. And the first one comes from Alex Sloss, who's another one in my love garden. Well, a lot of these questions are from people in my love garden, but honestly, it's not intentional. Just some of these questions are actually quite old, and it just so happens that these people ended up in my love garden. Anyway, Alex asked, at what time did you start playing Minecraft? Alex, that was, probably, 2012, I think, early 2012. I think it was like, I remember Stampy's 5000 video coming out at some point after that. I started playing, and it was just horrible. Like, Tori and I got on that thing, and it was just like, we didn't know what we were doing. We were getting blown up. I just had no clue. She just wanted to play the game because her cousins were playing it, and so it was a mess. So it was somewhere around some early 2012, I think, and it wasn't long after that we that Tori found Stampy online and started watching all his videos and so forth. So yeah, by that point we'd only been playing a couple of months at that point. Next question, James Sandry again asked, how do you okay, but let me stop there and back up. He's referring to the Fred's room video, and on that sign it says, my favorite pearl. And I think in the video I must have mentioned that Americans spell that word differently, and we do. And he asked, how do Americans spell favorite? And the answer is, of course, that we spell it correctly. No, we spell it without the U. We spell it Favorite. There we go. That's it. No, it's not It's not Favorite, as Stampy spells it. That's the British spelling, and I like that spelling actually. But favorite, yeah, and here in America, you take the U out. Next question comes from this one is I don't have a name on this one. This says, will you build any other YouTube's houses? Oh, I didn't write a person's name because I get a lot of people asking this question. If I'm going to build any other YouTube people's houses, and right now I just barely have time to do any of the videos that I'm doing right now, so I find it very doubtful that I'll be able to do anybody else's videos, build anyone else's houses. I'd love to if I had the time. Yeah, I would love to do like Dan TDM's lab. I'd love to do Amy Lee's house and Squid's Skyden and all that stuff. That would be great, but well, for now we're going to do Stampy because it's, as you know, that's a lot of work right there. So let's see. Next question comes from Sandpig, a longtime viewer and commenter. It says, are you ever under pressure as far as what to make in his world and when to upload them? And I definitely can't say I'm under pressure, just pressure from myself. I just want to, help you guys keep things moving along, try to keep boredom to a minimum, and, have a successful outcome when we do build stuff. When I upload them, I don't feel the pressure. I do try to get them out every other day or so. But that's pushing it. That is really, that's the limit of what I can handle with everything else going on in my life, since this is not my full-time job. Million like 1882 asks, will you ever be a full-time YouTuber? And if so, when do you think? Well, that gels nicely with the last question. Will I ever be a full-time YouTuber? If I can make enough money to support my family on this, absolutely, I'll become a full-time YouTuber. Why not? It's fun, interesting. I get to, interact with you guys, and it's just a lot of fun to make these videos. The catch-22 to that is that there's not enough money coming in quite yet to do that. And I don't know if I can get a heck of a lot more money coming in without doing more videos, but I can't do more videos because I'm working at my job. So you see this sort of circle that kind of goes around and around and around. So there you go. Let's see. And that is the final question for the Q&As that I have. If I did not include your question, please don't worry. Either I accidentally did not find your question, or I may have cobbled some of the questions are sort of cobbled together, and so feel free to still continue to ask me questions, and I will answer them as best as I can in the comment section. Thank you. So we've come to a very important part of the show. We are going to reveal the dog's name and the contest winner. Can I have a drum roll, please? The names of the two dogs are Ernie and Bert. Yay, Ernie and Bert. Ernie and Bert are, let me go over to say hi to them. Hey, this is Ernie. This is Ernie in the orange, Bert in the yellow. And I hope you guys know who Ernie and Bert are. It's, from Sesame Street, which is, Muppets. And I think they're fairly international. Hopefully you guys know what they are. But if not, look them up on YouTube, on probably YouTube and Google and so forth. But they're from a kid's show called Sesame Street, which I grew up watching when I was a little kid. And it's still on, and I know my kids watch it, and it's just great. And Ernie and Bert are just two funny, two funny Muppets, especially Ernie for me, because he's like the really funny one, and Bert's really kind of straight-laced. So I really liked those two names together for these two dogs, because they'll have two very different personalities. So the winner of the naming contest, who almost by default won because he entered so many names, was the Gaming Bunny. The Gaming Bunny submitted those names, and I thought they were fantastic. So as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh, that's the ones. That's fantastic. And then, oh dear, there's the backsides, my dogs. And so there they are. That is the names of the dogs. And thank you, and welcome, Ernie and Bert. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the seed that I'm using for this builder world. For, if we go out this door out here, it's still nighttime. Get through the door here. For this builder world, and some information on downloading STAMPY'S seed. So I'm going to leave a bunch of information in this description of this video for how to download STAMPY'S seed, because there's not much I can tell you about it. Using STAMPY'S actual seed, I understand, only works if you remove all the updates from your Xbox. And again, this is only for Xbox. And I'm flying, and because I have no idea how to do it for anyone else. So for this seed that we're on here, this is the seed number, and these are the coordinates where we're going to place the first block. And I'm going to take you right over to show you exactly what block I'm talking about. Right over here, down over here, down here, this guy right here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a little dark right now, but yeah, right next to the steps here. If I could just knock this out here, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to stand right on the coordinates. If I can get a shot here, there we go. Okay, so this is where I'm standing right at the coordinates that I just put on the screen. So yeah, so that's where you want to put it. And oh dear goodness. And so then from there, I'm facing west right now, like towards the left, but you should be facing east when you build, like this, towards the right side of the map. And so you're going to put the block here, and then you're going to build up there, and then you're going to 15 blocks over if you're watching the bedroom video. And then this is the other block on the other side. And then you just kind of build from there. That should be pretty self-explanatory once you get to that point. Where's Esther? I haven't seen her around. I don't see. She must have flown off or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so that'll good. And if hopefully that inspires you. If you haven't already started, that's exactly where you want to start if you're using my seed. And yes, I still have not built Stampy Goodnose's grave. Poor Stampy Goodnose. I just have not gotten around to that yet. I will, I promise one day. So yeah, let's go over to my Stampy's seed world, and I'll show you what I'm doing there. And here we are in my Stampy's download seed. This is still, like I mentioned before, it's a lot of work. There is still a lot of work to do, but you know what? Overall, I couldn't recommend it more. It is fantastic for getting certain parts of the terrain that you don't even have to worry about, like, you know, pretty much Googly's Island you don't have to do much with. You know, the mountain over here, you do have to mess with this left-hand side of it, but over here, you know, the changes are minor, and you've got this, you know, you've got a lot of terrain you just do not have to fool with. And, you know, some you do, you have to make a lot of stuff, but it's just so much easier to build on this seed. So let's get to it. Now, this above my head is Stampy's seed, but like I mentioned, this isn't going to do you a whole lot of good. This is for Xbox. I have absolutely no idea if that works for any of the other platforms. If you go into Xbox, remove all your updates for Minecraft, and then do the seed. Supposedly it works. I haven't tried it, and then once it updates, I think you'll be okay. You know, once it does receive the updates again, which it will, of course, automatically, it should be okay. So at that point, that'll work. But if you don't, down in the description of this video, I'm going to leave specifics of the YouTube website that I found that I used myself to get this seed to start with. So look there, get the seed, there'll be a link to the guy's website, YouTube site, for downloading the seed, and I believe he has it on several different platforms, if I recall correctly. So he's going to be really useful. And then it's a matter of how do you actually get this seed into your Xbox or PlayStation or PC. And I cannot, there's not enough time in the world to tell you how to do that. It's a somewhat complex procedure, and you're going to need help if you have, you know, you're going to need a working computer, you're going to need a flash drive, you're going to need to download a piece of software onto your computer. So if you do not own that computer, in other words, if it belongs to your parents or somebody else, you're going to need their help with this sort of stuff. So I will leave a link to a different YouTube video that I watched to learn how to do that, for at least for Xbox. But basically, you just need to Google it. Just Google, you know, how to download a map for Xbox or PS4 or whatever it is you're playing on. Do that, and it's probably will take you to a bunch of YouTube videos and that you can pick from, and just try different ones out. But I've watched several, and they're generally all pretty good. I mean, they're accurate. So that's really the best way to go, is to just Google it and do it, and whatever it takes. I couldn't recommend it more to get Stampy's seed. That, yes, it's a lot of work. You know, this whole building is a mountain that you have to destroy. This building over here is about half a mountain that you have to destroy. Then you have to this ginormous mountain in the back here that you have to just level to put this theater in, and this, you know, flat area here. Although you don't have to do much here. And then over here you have to flatten all this out. Oh, look, you can see I'm working on, you know, my next few videos are going to deal with this area, and you know, some other areas, some other bank and so forth. I'm working on putting together. But anyway, and this area here, which we're going to do soon. So those sort of things just come naturally to the world. There's, you know, some modifications needed on certain things, but overall, it's just so much easier, especially when you're dealing with water. You don't have to put water down. You don't have to dig it out, lay it down, you know, put terrain under it if that's what you want, and so forth. It's just fantastic. So if you do have an opportunity to do it, even if it means redoing everything, which you already know how to do it now, I've already shown you if you've been following the videos. So the second time, third time, fourth time, which I've done, are all make it much, much easier, and makes everything goes much faster. Plus, you probably have a bunch of friends that can help you out too. So I recommend that you do that. So this is the end of my 20,000 subscriber video. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thank you for subscribing. You guys are so awesome. Keep up the great work, keeping me on my toes, putting the comments in, giving me the likes, and the subscribers keep on commenting. So I'm just going to keep putting out the videos until somebody says stop. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.